When it came to preparing Silver Dollar City for Christmas, everybody got involved. And the train crew was no exception. We had some work that only we could do. If you've never been to Silver Dollar City at Christmas, you are missing probably the best single location to experience Christmas in the whole entire United States. Silver Dollar City has the best Christmas celebration I have seen at any theme park. And I've been to a bunch of them, but it takes a lot of work to get the park ready for Christmas. They actually start putting lights up on the buildings and around the park at the end of July. There's a whole crew that is dedicated just to the Christmas lights and displays, including going through all the strings of lights in the off season to make sure they get taken down, packaged up properly, that all the lights are working. They recycle the strings and make sure that they're all rotated. It's a huge amount of work, especially with the new Christmas in Midtown. But they don't do everything. Each location in the park, the people working there also have their own jobs and tasks that they do to help get ready for it. And the train was certainly no exception, especially because at Christmas time, we were one of the most popular attractions with the longest lines and the most people seeking out coming to ride on the train. At Christmas time, the train changes. And instead of having Alfie and Ralphie Bolin out in the woods robbing trains, you actually have Grandpa out there telling the story of Christmas. And it involves a whole transformation out in the woods as well as in the station. Now, the whole depot itself, the light crew would actually come and they would put the lights up there. But as far as the posts and the fences and the break room, that was us. And we would actually start in October, the first part of October, and start putting the lights up on the break room and the fences and things like that. We had a plan, we kind of knew how we wanted to do it, and we would bring in staple guns and they would give us the lights and we would have to post those all up ourselves. So we would find ourselves doing it in between trains. You might put up like a half string of lights and then leave the next string for the next conductor when he was waiting in between trains. And just whenever we could find time, we would be trying to post lights up. And it would take us a week or two just to get the depot and the break room and all that ready. Now, if you're thinking that break room, they had the break room lit up? Yeah, because our break room actually looked like a work shed down at the end of the depot dock. And so people could see it, and we had lights all over that. And we'd have to make sure that everything else was ready to go there. The lights on the train engineers are the ones who actually put those on. And they would start putting those things on probably in September, because they would have to completely cover a train, and then after that train was covered, they would oftentimes rotate the trains so that way they could have the train with the lights on in service while the train that didn't have lights on was now getting fully done. And they had to keep all the lights separate because each car is a different color. They would also put generators on the front of the trains in between the engine and the train. And the engineer would actually be up there able to turn the generator on and off. And that's what turns the lights on the cars on and off. So that was all part of the Roundhouse crew. And it was a lot of work for them. But for us, the biggest work actually wasn't even there. It was out in the woods. About a week or so, that last week of October when we were open, we would start getting the Christmas decorations out. And that meant the big flats that were out there, the lights that light up the stage. And we would start getting those prepared towards the end of October so that way they would be ready to go. The park typically closes about the third week of October, and it leaves that last week of October that the park is actually completely closed. Nothing's going on. That is the rush to get everything ready for Christmas that's not done already. That's when the big Christmas trees get built, and the Christmas trees are put all throughout the park, and everything is converted over from the fall festival that they had over to Christmas. It's a huge amount of work, and a lot of the employees that would normally be working rides and attractions and other things actually work through that whole week. And that's what they're doing, is getting all of the Christmas stuff done. Long days, lots of work. Out in the woods, what it would mean is we would actually take all of the robbery stuff and it would all get taken down, torn up, and put away. So Ma's grave that was out there, that got taken apart and put away. The outhouse that was there, it would get dragged off usually and put away. Though I think there was one year we didn't quite get it off. And all of those things that would make you think of the robbery all got packed up. So that way it wasn't there. We had to make sure that the lights were all put out for the Christmas show. They were a completely separate light system than we would use during the Moonlight Madness, because they had to focus on each of the flats, and they had to focus on Grandpa. So there were a lot more lights and a lot of digging and trenching to try to get all these lights put out, so that way the cords were out there but safe from weather and ready to go. Testing all of that. It would be 2-3 days of work with several guys just out there digging the holes to be able to plant these big, huge angels and Mary and Joseph and all that, and then get them all put up there solid so they wouldn't go anywhere. We had to get the angel put up on top of the little shack that was at the back of the stage. It's just a lot of work. We actually had diagrams drawn up so we could see exactly where everything went, and that all got put away each year so that way we wouldn't be starting the next year going, how did we do this again? I don't remember. It was amazing how much work there was. I actually only helped 1 year with the setup. The other 2 years that I was out there, I didn't end up doing it. One, they didn't need the extra guy, and I think I had some other stuff coming up. And then the year after that, it was actually right after I had quit. Just a tremendous amount of work, and I was just in awe of the guys who actually put all of that together. It was an amazing thing when you would come out and see the way it had been when you had been robbing a week and a half ago, and then to come back and just see it completely different. Even things like the sound system changed. As the robbers, we had lapel mics that we used, and they fed into a certain system. But when Grandpa's worked, we actually used a completely different system. And I have to be honest, as robbers, we were very jealous of the Grandpa system. It was a much better wireless system. It used better speakers, because it didn't even use the same speakers. They had, instead of the lapel mics that we would kind of plug into our denim overalls, they actually had little headset microphones, and they were good quality microphones. So the Grandpas had a great sound system you could hear them on, and the robbers didn't. Not only did they have a whole different sound system, but they also had a full setup of lights in the robber shack. And at that point, it was really kind of the Grandpa shack. Inside, while Grandpa is sitting out there telling his story on the rocking chair, there is actually another Grandpa sitting inside the robber shack at that point, and he has the soundboard and a light board along with a monitor. So as Grandpa is outside talking, the Grandpa inside actually has a little monitor there where he can hear him. And he is the one that's playing the music that you hear, so it all goes with the cues. And then as he's listening to Grandpa talk and hit the certain sound cues, he's actually triggering the lights on all the different things that are displayed out there. So you've got a Grandpa hiding inside the shack that is actually turning the angels and the shepherds and the animals and Mary and Joseph on and off in cue with the music that he is playing, while the Grandpa outside sits and tells the story. So it's a really neat setup. It's a wonderful setup. And one that, like I said, as the robbers, we were like, oh, why can't we have that kind of sound system? No feedback, clear sound, everybody can hear you. And the truth is, too, as robbers, we had some guys who had no clue how to take care of their sound stuff. And they probably would have been destroying microphones instead of preserving them. So I understand why the park didn't let us have the good stuff, because we probably wouldn't have kept the good stuff. We would have ruined it, which is a sad thing. But the Grandpas were great at taking care of their stuff. So it was a neat transformation of the whole thing, and it was a neat way to be a part of it. Are there things that you'd like to know about how Silver Dollar City got ready for Christmas and converted the park? Let me know. I'd like to hear your comments below. Are you part of a park that has transformed from fall and Halloween over to Christmas? And what did you do? I would love to hear it. Please don't forget to share it below. Don't forget to hit like and share the video too with people who might be interested or maybe have done this themselves. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons for supporting me. I couldn't do this without my patrons. My patrons are wonderful. If you want to know more about Patreon and supporting me, or about merchandise and fan pages and contacting me and stuff like that, please don't forget to check the description below. Thank you so incredibly much for watching, and God bless. Let me know. I'd love to hear your comments. Blah, blah, blah. Don't forget to hit like and share this video too, especially if you got friends. France? France. Yeah, let's go to France. Okay. If you'd like to know about my merchandise, fan pages, and more, be sure to check the description below. If you'd like to know whenever I've got a new video posted, well, make sure you hit that button right up there and subscribe. If you'd like to watch another one of my videos, I've got a great one for you right here. And if you'd like to be like these wonderful people here and support me financially on Patreon, well, make sure you check the link right there. There's even some extra perks for them. Thank you so much, and God bless.